Hello, my dear students. In the previous video, we took SOHCAHTOA as a start of trigonometry. And I mentioned something that we are dealing till now with right angle triangles only. Afterwards, we'll take the advanced stage. About Pythagoras Theorem, it deals only with the three sides of a right angle triangle. Three sides of a right angle triangle without mentioning the measure of the acute angle here or there. Because if this acute angle is measured here, or this acute angle is mentioned, needed, or given, this means you will use SOHCAHTOA. But if no acute angle is given nor required, so it's Pythagoras theorem. Pythagoras theorem states that there is a relation between the sides, the three sides, and the hypotenuse squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides. Pythagoras theorem states that the square of the hypotenuse is equal to the sum of the squares of the other shorter sides. Here we have some triangles, and let's start to calculate the hypotenuse for each of them. The smaller one, the smallest one, x squared is equal to the shorter ones, which is 3 squared plus 4 squared. Without a calculator, 3 squared is 9, 6 squared is 16, 9 plus 16 is 25. This is x squared. If you need to remove the squaring, so you find the square root of the 25, and the answer will be 5 centimeters. So this x is 5 centimeters. It is a famous triangle. We need it as a basic triangle in Pythagoras, and we usually sing golden triangle 3, 4, 5. Golden triangle 3, 4, 5. It's very famous worldwide. The next triangle, let's calculate the hypotenuse, which is m. So m squared is equal to 6 squared plus 8 squared. M squared is, without a calculator, 36 plus 64, it is 100. So without squaring, it means you need to find the square root for both sides. Square root of 100, it is 10 centimeters. Is it related to the previous one? Yes, it is. Two triangles are similar. We took before similarity. Remember, baby and Baba. So here, there is a scale factor, which is 2. Each of the three sides, when you multiply it by 2, 3 multiplied by 2 is 6, 4 multiplied by 2 is 8, 5 multiplied by 2 is 10. This means that there is similarity, and it's a multiple of the golden triangle. Okay, now the green one. You need to find P. Pythagoras theorem states that P squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the two shorter ones. It is 9 squared plus 12 squared. 9 squared is 81 and 12 squared is 144. When you add them, it will be 225. You need to find P without the squaring. You just take the square root of 225. Your answer will be 15 centimeters. Is it also related to the golden triangle? Yes, it's a multiple. Each of the three sides are just multiplied by 3. 3 centimeters multiplied by 3, it's 9. And 4 centimeters multiplied by 3, it's 12. And 5 centimeters multiplied by 3, it's 15. So this is a multiple of golden triangle 3, 4, 5. Actually, I want you to have always expectations. If you find right angle triangle having 9 centimeters and 12 centimeters, you should expect the third one before calculating it. Because just in case you make a mistake, you will know that, for example, some students, the famous mistake, they forget to find the square root of 225, and they write that the hypotenuse will be 225, which does not make sense. So now the last one. C squared is equal to, this is the hypotenuse. Now I shaded all the hypotenuse, each hypotenuse in each triangle is highlighted. Okay, you can see it clearly. C squared is the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides, which is 15 squared plus 20 squared. So C squared will be 15 squared, which is 225, plus 20 squared, which is 400, is equal to 625. If you need to find C without the squaring, so you just square root 625. Square root of 625, it will be 25 centimeter, which is also a multiple of the golden triangle 3, 4, 5, because this 3 you multiplied by 5, it's 15, and 4 you multiplied by 5 is 20, and 5 you multiplied by 5 is 25. Next question. Before questions, I want to tell you about some famous triangles. This golden triangle 3, 4, 5, we just took it now, and we took many cases of it. And this one 5, 12, 13, and this one 11, 60, 61. Let's calculate. If we name this hypotenuse x, so x is equal to x squared is 5 squared plus 12 squared. 5 squared is 25 plus 144, it will be 169. And the square root of 169 will be 13. This triangle is also famous. It frequently comes in exams. Okay? About the third one, if we call this y, for example, the hypotenuse, how to find it? Y squared equals the sum of the squares of the two shorter ones. So y squared is equal to 121 plus 3600 equals 3721. Root answer equals y equals square root of this answer 3721. It will be 61. These are the most famous triangles, and now let's go to solve some questions with you. The first one, before you start, you have to highlight the hypotenuse in order to concentrate. Are you adding or subtracting? In this case, hypotenuse is required. So a squared is, yes, 9 squared plus 7 squared. A squared is how much? And then a is how much? Be faster than me. 9 squared plus 7 squared, it will be 130 centimeters. And then square root of answer equals, it will be 11.4 millimeters. Next one, the hypotenuse is given. Expect to make subtraction. Take care. So we have to write it like 15 squared is equal to 9 squared plus x squared. And in order to find x squared lonely without this 9 squared, let 9 squared goes to the other side by saying cross the bridge and change the sign. Here is 15 squared minus 9. The square, I told you, will subtract, because if the hypotenuse is given and you need to find a short side, you will subtract. 15 squared minus 9 squared is 144. Oh, why didn't we expect? It is a multiple of the golden triangle. So x will be square root of 144, which is 12 centimeters. Now the third one. Oh, we have two triangles. How to start? You have to start with the triangle which I'll highlight it now in yellow. Because simply this triangle is almost having all information you need. It's having 5 centimeters and 8 centimeters, and extracting the triangle will make it easier for you. You tell me, what shall I name the hypotenuse? Let's call it any letter but not E, because E is used. Let's call it X. This X, you have to find it. It has priority because this X is the only common side in both triangles, the yellow one and the blue one. Okay, search for the common side in both triangles and start with it. Now, how to find X? You just say X squared equals 8 squared plus 5 squared. I want to teach you something today. You'll write it as a third. Third means square root of something. Keep it under the root because thirds are exact. The thirds are exact. Thirds are exact. No need to find the square root of this number. Okay, it is 8 squared plus 5 squared. It is 89. Okay, so X will be square root of 89, and I'm not concerned of finding the square root of 89. How much is it? I'm so satisfied. Keep it as a third. Now, go to your drawing, go to the diagram, and write here square root of 89 because I will use it. Now, the next triangle, which is the blue one. Like that. Here is the square root of the 89. We already got it. Here is E, and here is 4. E is the question mark here, which is a hypotenuse. How to find E? E squared equals the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides. Wow! If we square the square root, you will get an 89. So, you will write here on your calculator that E squared equals 4 squared plus 89, which is 105. If you need to find E, just square root of 105, root answer equals, you will get 10.4, 10.2 centimeters. Ta-da-da. Let's take an advanced level of compound shapes. The first triangle, quiz time. So we'll think about it. Okay, you will say it. Which side do we need? As you see, there is a triangle inside the triangle, and both of them having one common right angle. But one of them, yes, you're right, the smaller one. The smaller one is almost having all information so that I can find something. Find what? What's missing? Yes, it's base. I need to find this base. Call it anything but not P. I'll call it X. Okay? And please extract this red triangle like this and write all information, which is 10 centimeters, 8 centimeters, and X. Remember, it's a multiple of the golden triangle, 3, 4, 5, but multiply by 2. So X, 100% will be 3, but multiply by 2, which is 6. Let's calculate. Okay. Start with the hypotenuse, of course, because the hypotenuse is always subject of the formula. And expect that you will subtract to find the shorter side. 10 squared is the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides. Cross the bridge and change the sign. Here 10 squared minus 8 squared is equal to x squared. 10 squared, which is 100. 100 minus 64, it will be 36. This is x squared. You need x, okay. X is the square root of 36, which is 6 centimeters. Now, we'll go and write it on the drawing, on the diagram. This is 6 centimeters. What about the bigger triangle? Okay, it has, please, I want you to surround it and think about it. Don't think about this thin triangle, because this thin triangle is having no right angles. You have to use the same right angle. So we are surrounding it with a highlighter, and then we'll extract it and write all information in order to concentrate. The hypotenuse is 16, and this is 8. And what do we need? Let's name the base 1, for example. Then how to get P? Yes, you're right, by subtraction. When we get Y, you remove the 6 and you'll get the P. So now you will calculate like 16 squared is equal to 8 squared plus Y squared. Cross the bridge and change the sign, and Y squared is equal to 16 squared minus 8 squared. Calculators. 16 squared minus 8 squared will be 192. So y will be what? Square root of 192. Root answer equals, you will get y is equal to 13.9. This is not the final answer. He needs you to find P. Okay, P equals y minus x. Y, we got it 13.9. Subtract x, which is 6. Answer minus 6 equals, expect to be 7 point something. Yeah, it is 7.86. Why didn't I write it 7.9? Because simply I'm using the whole display on the calculator, and I should give the final answer as 3 significant figures or more. Remember, 3 significant figures or more, and the answer is given in centimeters. Last thing, here we have 2 triangles, both of them having a common base. So let's start with the one which is having blue hypotenuse. No, the one which is having blue hypotenuse is having this k centimeters and 12, but we don't know the base. So this is the use of the other triangle. He gave me the other triangle to use it. We have here 4, we have here 8, and we can find the common base. Put your eye on the common side. We have to give him priority. Now we'll shade this triangle yellow. Let's concentrate. The best way to concentrate is to extract the triangle. Extract the blue one. Here is 4, here is 8, here is x. The hypotenuse is given. Expect that you will subtract. So 8 squared is equal to the sum of the squares of the two shorter sides. Cross the bridge and change the sign. 8 squared minus 4 squared equals x squared. 8 squared minus 4 squared is equal to 48. I'm reminding you that I'll write it as a third. X squared equals 48. X will be square root of 48. Because 48 is not a perfect square, I expect that it will give me an irrational number. It will not give me correct answers if I make rounding and then a further rounding and then a further rounding. You have to expect that your final answer will not be accurate like the accuracy needed in the final answer. So x, we got it, and we should write it on the diagram, which is square root of 48. The last step will extract this blue triangle. Remember, I'm surrounding it in blue highlighter to concentrate that I'm using the right angle. Here are all the information. It is k, it's a hypotenuse, and this height is 12, and the base is square root of 48, and it's still on the calculator. So now k squared, it's hypotenuse. Expect that you will add k square equals the square root of 48, but you square it, it will be a perfect 48 plus 12 square. By squaring the square root, you will get only 48. So it's already written on your display. 48 plus 12 square is 192. So k will be square root of 192. Root answer equals 13.9 centimeters. Does it make sense? Yes. It is the longest side in the blue triangle. But we don't know root 48 is how much. Root 48 is, it is 6.9. That's all for today. Thank you, my dears. See you in the next video, which will be about trigonometry, but the advanced level. Thank you. Bye-bye.